like, how did she say, like, how did it change for like 30 years?
She says it's a lot cleaner now than it was before. Like before it was like local feeling. Now it's definitely been modernized a lot. There's like really beautiful infrastructure and trains and parks and no trash anywhere in this whole city.
美国女孩的妈妈这么快40年以前就住在台湾。
My mom lived in Taiwan about 30 years ago.
今天美国莉莉要分享她跟她妈妈的故事。他们全家这么从小时候就会讲中文。
We were able to speak Mandarin everywhere we went.
美国莉莉的妈妈为什么一直鼓励带小孩来台湾
And she's been encouraging us to come here like our whole lives.
为什么这位美国歌手的梦想在台湾就实现了
Started singing at open mics and people were so welcoming.
还有更多，我们来一起看。
你好，大家好，我叫 Lily， 我是歌手，在台湾。1年以前来台湾，所以我在台湾差不多1年。
Can you share like how did you know about Taiwan at the beginning?
Yeah, so my mom lived in Taiwan about 30 years ago for 2 years, and she learned Chinese and taught English, and she's been encouraging us to come here like our whole lives. And me and my brother were like, absolutely not. We're not coming to Taiwan. Like, you want us to go so bad, we're not going to go. And after, there's kind of a natural pause in my life, and me and a really close friend of mine went backpacking around Southeast Asia, and Taiwan was always on my mind, and so came to Taiwan for just to visit, and then here I am a year later.
That's cool. And do you remember like what did your mom share about Taiwan at the time?
She felt so seen and so special, and she just spoke really good Chinese.
And like what year was it? Like is it like 90?
I always get it wrong. I always say 40 years ago, and she's like, it's only 30. Like, I'm not that old. I'm like, okay.
So it's like 1990 something, right?
Maybe like the 80s or 90s. I'm not sure yet.
So Taiwan was like completely different back then, right? And
very, very different. Yeah.
Did she have a chance to visit again or not?
Yeah, she's actually visited already twice.
Oh, twice.
And she's coming next week.
Okay. And like how did she say like how did it change for like 30 years?
She says it's a lot cleaner now than it was before. Like before it was like local feeling. Now it's definitely been modernized a lot. There's like really beautiful infrastructure and trains and parks and no trash anywhere in this whole city. It definitely was not like that before. And a lot more English.
Okay, right. So at the time like she was teaching English here or?
She was teaching English and she was studying Chinese.
Also she can speak some Chinese as well?
She's completely fluent.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh.
She's amazing.
And how was it back then? Because I think now like you speak Chinese, people maybe you'll be surprised, but not maybe as much as if you speak Chinese like 30, 40 years ago. Yeah. How was it? Did she share some of that?
The people were definitely surprised and like very welcoming and inviting and like loved when she would speak to them. And when she came back, actually like 6 months ago, maybe she was talking to everyone in Chinese, and she didn't forget a word of Chinese in all 30 years. I'm like, how did you not forget?
Does she speak sometimes Chinese in like
in New York?
In New York or something?
So I grew up right next to Chinatown, so there was a lot of exposure to like Northern Asian culture and Chinese language and like Chinese cuisine and things like that. Obviously, we're in Taiwan, so it's a little bit different, but we were able to speak Mandarin everywhere we went. And as a kid, me and my brother went to a bilingual school from ages 4 to 8, or I was 4 to 8 and he was 6 to 10, and so we also had those language skills. And there's this,
also, was the Chinese language?
Yeah, Chinese English. And we just had like this really cute little family running around Chinatown being like, 我要吃一个小笼包, like, 可以吗? And I would be like, yeah, okay. They loved it. They like ate it up.
And like what was kind of like reason you came here first, like traveling, right?
Yeah.
And why did you decide to stay here?
A little bit of background to kind of set up the scene. I was in college and I was studying dance, and I also had a band. It was an a cappella group. I've always been really interested in singing and like sang pretty professionally, and was trained in high school and things. And so I did this tour. I got cast in this musical like super randomly. I guess I was just in the right place, right time. Left college, went on tour for a year. And after that I was like, whoa, like that was not what I expected at all. I need a break, and so I stopped performing for about 6 months. And me and a best friend of mine traveled around Southeast Asia. We went to Laos, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam. I was thinking this whole time, like, I don't know where I want to live. I don't know where the next steps of my life is. But if a place is like really working out and I love it and doors are opening, like I'll stay and I'll commit to it. So yeah, I came to Taiwan just for a month to learn some Chinese and travel around. I started singing at open mics and people were so welcoming. They were like, I have a gig here, like come sing here. Like I have a gig here, come sing here. And I ended up singing a few songs at this restaurant, this music restaurant called Smexy. Shout out Smexy, you should check it out. And they basically offered to sponsor my visa and to help me get semi-permanent residency here so that I could sing up there at their music venue and sing also at other places.
And like was the singing something that you always like dreamed about and like you always like loved to, or how's it?
When I was a kid, there is no option but to be Hannah Montana, you know, or like, I was like, I will be the world is my stage, and I was performing all the time, no matter what, just singing every second of every day, and dancing like through parks and in grocery stores and in my house. And my dad always says like when I was really, really little, I'd be in like the high chair and music would come on and I'd be like shaking my shoulders to the beat.
因为大家都知道，我们工作的时候或是念书的时候都需要用 Office 的软体。我们第一个想到的当然是 Microsoft Office， 但是蛮多人会发现 Microsoft Office 的价格其实不便宜。还好有另外一个选择叫做 WPS Office， 这个是免费 WPS 软体，用这个软体可以用到我们平常需要的软体，像 Doc、Sheet、Slides、PDF。而且我非常喜欢的件事，他们有很多 AI 功能。因为从大家开始用 ChatGPT 之后，我们越来越习惯这些 AI 功能，所以 WPS 提供这些功能是非常好用。其实如果你们还没有听过 WPS 这家公司，我想跟你们说，这家公司已经有37年存在，他们全球用户也是非常多，每个月有6亿的用户使用 WPS Office 的软体，在220个国家，所以蛮多用户都很喜欢 WPS Office。另外一个我喜欢的地方是，他们在安全性方面做得非常好，所以他们软体不用担心用户资料会被泄露，而且亚马逊还写了案例研究在他们的网站，所以真的可以确保用户的资料是在安全的地方。因为 WPS 真的很在乎用户的权威性与隐私保护，不管你们是学生、上班族或是自由工作者，都需要用 Office 的软体，所以可以参考 WPS 的 Office， 而且他们的软体都有免费版本，所以可以轻松的开始使用。链接我都会放下面，可以更了解 WPS 软体。那我们现在继续我们的影片。
How did your parents react like when you told them that you're gonna stay here in Taiwan?
It's because my mom was like trying to convince me to move here my whole life. I think she was more excited than I was.
Oh.
My parents, luckily, have always been very supportive of any decision that I make, and they have full faith that I will figure it out.
So far, like you're planning to stay here, do the singing?
Yeah, I've been writing music with a lot of people and also singing some of my own original stuff, and I love putting together events.
When you came here for the first time, do you remember what was your first impression? And like, was it kind of like similar to what your mom told you? Because I guess she always wanted you to come to Taiwan. Like, how was it?
I was actually pretty shocked about how clean it was, and I was like, there are no trash cans anywhere. What do people do with their trash? Like, they just hold it for hours until they can throw it away, I guess. And like the MRT was super nice. I was very surprised at how much infrastructure there was and how industrialized it was. Because in other parts of Southeast Asia, it's a bit less modern. And I feel like Taiwan was like the perfect balance of modernization and like Asian, sort of East Asian culture.
And do you remember like when you came here and started to live here, like, do you remember like what things you liked and disliked about this place?
Because I was so nomadic traveling around before I came here, I loved just like the simple things of also being in one place. So the fact that I was like able to cut my own fruit and like have a kitchen felt so wonderful. I really liked how cheap the food was and how yummy it was. People are so polite and nice and helpful. I think people can be shy here sometimes. Yeah, and that felt a little bit hard for me. Like, I'm pretty weird, and so people think that I'm crazy here, and I am crazy. But in New York, there's a different scale of what crazy is. There's like actually people that are like on drugs and whatever and stuff like that. And here, like, I'm crazy because I'm just outgoing and loud.
And after you lived here for some time, because it's been like over a year, right? Like for now, like what things do you think you liked about Taiwan?
I think people are very like open and supportive in a lot of ways that I appreciate. Especially in the industry, like people have been very welcoming to me. And also like just the nature and parks and food. Food is so good. Oh yeah, my favorite thing I forgot to say is the safety. Yeah, you can be alone at night at 5 a.m. as a woman walking by herself and you don't have a worry in the world.
And how to compare it to New York? Like,
you have many worries in New York.
Also, you wouldn't be that free to go or like...
I mean, you can. I personally would be a little bit like scared walking around by myself at night. But I always like put my keys in my fingers or like you have to just be on. You have to be aware of what's around you and how fast you're walking and where you're going. Versus here, I'm like in the middle of a dark alley with like trash around me at 4 a.m. and I'm just like la-di-da-di-da.
Did it ever happen something kind of like dangerous in New York for you or no? Like something...
I mean, I've been followed a few times.
Followed.
Yeah, or like groped on the subway, stuff like that.
Okay. After you've been here for some time, like what are the things that you don't like?
I really don't like the school system here.
Oh, the school system.
Yeah, which doesn't quite apply to me, but I think people are pretty one-tracked mind about what a good life is, how to live a good life. And if you don't do that, I think there's morality attached to it. Like you're considered not a good person in an interesting way. Not everyone is like that. It's like a big generalization, but I think in school, they study to do well on tests. They don't study to learn. And there isn't a lot of space for kids to be just like silly and weird and play and make up things. They're like in classes all the time, which is a lot. I think the shyness, people are very afraid of being looked at as weird or different. And I think it doesn't allow a lot of like cultural expression or personal expression or creativity. Yeah, that part's been really hard for me. Like it's so homogenous here. Here it's very like, you fall in line and you stand in the line and you follow the rule and like you don't not follow the rule.
So what things you think should be improved in Taiwan?
Definitely like higher salaries and lower house costs.
Oh, really?
Houses cost so much money here. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and they should make the lights shorter.
Oh,
like the
like-
red lights are like a minute and a half. They're like 90 seconds plus. It's crazy.
Is there anything you saw in Taiwan you think it will be cool to have back in the US?
Yeah, the high-speed rail.
Oh, the high speed. Oh.
For sure. Like cheap street food.
Oh.
We have some street food, but it's not as cheap. I love the park culture here. Specifically older people that are so cute, all like dancing together, or people are like kind of always doing this, I feel like. Not quite sure why. Like it does something apparently. Or a lot of like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like some like warm-ups, like.
Yeah. Or like Tai Chi, stuff like that. And the safety. Like, I'd love to bring that level of safety to America.
The last question I want to ask you, like if you would have a change, what thing about Taiwan would you change?
Kind of like I was saying about the school system.
Oh, the school system.
Yeah, and just like
So it would make it more easier or like more like less time, like less hours or?
that partially. But I think for me, the point of school is to learn. Like learn how to learn how to ask good questions, learn how to be a good person, learn how to like do your taxes. Here it doesn't seem like the purpose is to learn, the purpose is to do well in school. And even in America, I think there's a lot of flaws in the school system, and it takes someone who really cares to try and get people to actually learn, because you have to put a lot more effort into that, you know? Yeah, people study here so hard and go to college and just study so hard, and often don't even work a job related to what they studied. So I'm like, how did you study so hard? Like, let's have fun, you know? I'm an up-and-coming musician here in Taiwan, a singer. I have music out on every streaming platform, an EP called A Threaded Melody. You can follow me on Instagram at Lily, Lili, Greenberg, GRNBRG. And you can come see me perform all over Taipei and other parts of Taiwan just by following my Instagram. You'll see my performance times and dates.
I will put the links in the description.
Thank you. Yeah.
So people can go and follow and share, right?
Yeah. Wonderful.
Right? So yeah, thank you guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
如果你也想成为下一位爆红创作者，请打开下方资讯栏连结，一起来投稿吧。